Hi everyone. So essentially, it's my first video. I'm going to be learning how to draw. So I've always drawn, a lot of people have. But at 20, something kind of changed me. I hadn't drawn for ages, and then I was just like, I really want to get back into drawing. Like, it was just something I really, really enjoyed. So at 20, I was like, okay, tried doing the, copying the pictures as I used to do as a kid, and was just like, this ain't it. And then I come across stuff like Pro Hose videos and stuff like that, where they actually broke down how people actually draw, as in, construction and form and contours and perspective, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's actually not as mystical as I thought it was. There's actual hard things like hard rules you can actually learn, even though, I know the whole thing of, people break rules when you understand them kind of thing, where I was like, okay, there's a starting point that I can actually start with. Problem is though, I thought that was, oh yeah, there's a good starting point. I had no idea where to start. I'd literally dabble. One course after the other, just doing a bit, or YouTube videos, oh, how to draw heads, and I'd be like, I've got to do this another, 2,000 times over God knows how long before I understand the head. I was like, this is overwhelming. I don't know, where to begin. And even the whole start here, everyone has a different idea of where to start. I ended up coming to Drawbox and started that in about, I want to say 2021, something like that. I essentially started 3 times because I got to the, if anyone knows Drawbox, I got to, I want to say the organic perspective the first time before I just quit, got burned out. Then the second time I got to the 250 box challenge and again quit and burned out. And the third time I didn't even try to repeat the first lesson. I went tried to go straight to the 250 box challenge that was recently as well. And I just couldn't do it. Funnily enough, what I found most difficult about Drawbox was actually the 50% rule, and not for the reason you think. Because I've done other stuff. I've done I tried some of Proco's videos, just the free ones on YouTube. And there was just, I don't even know who makes videos anymore. There's some lad called Angel Ganev who was showing you how to do portrait drawing and stuff, and I did his maybe for a few weeks, what he was suggesting to study. But with Drawbox, go back to Drawbox, I found most difficult was actually to draw for fun, because it shouldn't be phrased as draw to fun, because it's not actually draw for fun. It's just getting you to draw whatever stuff you're not ready for. So I understand the concept, I understand where it's coming from, but that was the worst part for me, was being forced to draw, and it's no, it just didn't work for me. I get more tired from doing the drawing, whatever, because there was a pressure on it. There was you have to do 50%, and I know not everyone will do the 50%, but yeah, in the end, that was what burnt me out. I was I'm doing an hour and a half of study, and I was doing an hour and a half of just drawing whatever, and I'd be during the study, just crack on with it. It's got to be done. You got to focus, stuff like that. Time would go like that. But when it comes to the just drawing whatever, I'd be checking time every 30 minutes, just oh, you're joking. I've still got an hour. It's just, yeah, didn't gel well for me. So I ended up pretty much just by the way, when I said start to get serious when I was 20, I'm now 26. My drawings have not increased in quality that much because I've not learned, I've not done it. all I've done is essentially just draw for my own enjoyment. But even then, I have not. I didn't really push the boat out. I just drew what I was comfortable with. Just drew what I thought, yeah, go on, I'll draw that. Not much thought, just sometimes I pick up a pen, start drawing and be like, oh look, it's the same kind of head that I've been drawing for 3 years. Actually got some of the older drawings here. This is what I mean by doing the same stuff. I'd be doing stuff like this. It's not dreadful, but it's not something that takes you like, I don't know how old I was when I did that, probably like 22, 23, like for that level, it doesn't take you 3 years from 20 to get to that point. Like that's, unless you're just doing what I was doing, you're just doodling, you're not actually trying to like actively learn anything. Same with this kind of stuff. And you can see it's all very similar as well. I'm not like learning anything new. This is one time that I actually started to do the proportions, and I've done like 7. That's it. And like that one was probably, yeah, one of these two was probably like actually looking at like how to do it, and the rest was just drawing it. Like I've done some kind of like, not study, so to say, but done some kind of like, you can tell that I've actually looked at some of the concepts, so to speak, and actually tried to apply them. Like that's older still, that's probably was about 20 when I was doing that, but a lot of these are just like, that's definitely a Pinterest model, like I've seen, recognise it. Same with hair as well, probably. I mean, so there's not a lot of like purposeful practice going on or anything. Same with like stuff like this, just like, just ideas for locations, like stories and stuff. I did a little bit of like stuff like this. Again, like a lot of the stuff that I go, that's actually not bad. For someone at my level, I go, yeah, probably just copied it. Yeah, just more of the same. Some absolutely like abominations. And that's like when I was doing clearly been doing some of the drawing box lessons when I was drawing this stuff. Like you say, it's not really like, it's neither practice nor just drawing whatever, like for fun. So it's clearly like, it's like semi-practice, which, like this was actually the kind of stuff I was doing before I was 20, like, or maybe when I was 20. Like, look at the state of that. Like, that's abysmal. Like, clearly, like, I'd starting to understand, like, oh right, you actually like like stuff like that, or you actually like construct the head. Do you know what I mean? But some of this stuff was me like 50% rule of the drawer box. So like, this was at the time when I was doing it in 2023 when I started it. Some of it's not awful. But again, I just draw the same things over and over again. Clearly because, I'm comfortable doing it. Like, stuff like this I quite like. Even now, it's not. I don't think it's awful. But again, it's just the same. Like, and then occasionally I'll get something I really like I actually really like this drawing still. Like, that's a fluke. That's like, do 1,000 of these, get one that you go, oh, this is really working. Wow, this is great. This is really working out. But like, that's it. The rest of them is very similar to that. I did start to like push the boat a little bit. Actually, this is when I started to do the 50% rule actually. So, I started to actually push the boat out a little bit. stuff like this. You know, just still have an idea. And I was still falling into the didn't mean to get close and constructing a head rather than just like doing something a bit more like that. Same on this side. Like I couldn't even tell you what the hell that's about. Kind of looks like that show Angry Kids, if anyone watched that. Yeah, back in the day. You know, there's some stuff that's, you know, it's not awful, like stuff like that. Like it's not abysmal. You can see that I'm kind of like, I have some level of like not understanding, but like the theory of like construction, stuff like that, a little bit 3D space, which, you know, I did get a bit of that from Drawbox, but I'd already been doing like, you know, some kind of like stuff, like similar things. You know, that was from like last year, and then like still like this year I've gotten a little bit better, but it's not like the kind of like better that you actually, you know, like that was from a reference. That's the Suit Mutant 3D model from Fallout 1. You know, stuff like this, like it's just like, nah. You know, it's not great, obviously, but you can see that, yeah, I did like improve slightly over the years. But essentially, I've just been doing that for like 6 years. It's, you know, such a waste of time. I just couldn't. Well, it's not that I just couldn't get myself going. I couldn't get myself going, but it wasn't like a legitimate reason why. It was just didn't know where to start. You know, procrastinating. You know, it's just not. Always just being like, I just don't know where to start, and not sticking with something, even though it might not be the right thing to start with. So it's always like, oh, do the fundamentals. Problem is, if you've been kind of like in and out, doing a little bit of fundamentals for like 6 years, and then you hear again, do the fundamentals, and you've not done them, it's just like, you know, you have to like, bit of an ego hit, a bit of like the humility to be like, I've got to start from the bottom because I didn't do it properly, pretty much. But that's when I was like, I couldn't get started on some of the stuff. Like I was trying to do Drawbox again, for example. I was just like, I'm not saying that's easy. I'm not saying that I'm a master at it. It's just I needed something different, and I needed something with more of a challenge, which meant starting something that I didn't think I was actually ready to start yet. So essentially, me learning plan is loosely based on that Radio Runner image. I'm sure, or website. I'm sure loads of people have seen it. Me not going to follow it exactly. I'm using like the structure, so like each month I'll be doing something different, and that's literally just to keep it fresh, even if it's just like for the first 4 months to do that, and then maybe jump on and start doing like new Masters Academy, like beginner stuff, just to get myself good foundation going. But for now, it's literally just stick at it, get a bit of mileage of actually committing to do like a course, or committing to do, you know, well, I've got 3 courses lined up, it's going to take me 3 months, like committing like that. So like I say, what I've pretty much figured out is that the most important thing is actually just to start. Like I was doing last night, actually committed to doing, it's Brent Everston's figure drawing, the art and science of figure drawing. It's like loads of videos on Udemy. I got it on offer as well, which is good. I was doing gesture, and I did some of the course last night. Things went about procrastinated around a little bit. You know, go and make myself a cup of tea, rearrange my room, stuff like that. But eventually did actually start it, and you know, I'm obviously not even through the full course, and nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. So like, I'm just going to show a few now. And the great thing is I'm already seeing where I'm pretty much going wrong, which, you know, is ideal. Like, this was doing, I'm going to be able to see this actually. Yes, didn't really think this through at all. Luckily, I know something that you, hypothetical listener, don't know, and that's that no one's going to watch this first video, so do whatever I want. Legitimately can't tell them. Yeah, hold it upside down. You still can't see him. Oh, this was fully planned. Doesn't matter. Essentially, that's my line of action. It's stiff as a metal pole. Like, you know, that was the point. And you did. Time poses, they were about 30 seconds, I believe. And, you know, I started to actually, again, you're not going to see it properly, but started to actually be a bit more fluid when it comes to the gesture. But again, it's, you know, the first, I've only done the gesture like literally once. I did it for like an hour. I think it was a Proco course. I did it for like, or like Proco video. I did it for like an hour. And, you know, not gonna get much done, much from it. You just do an hour and that's it. Then got a bit better, kind of. And that was with, I think, adding like the other contours to it. I think they're called. You know, still awful, but it's not about being good. Problem is, there's still very, very stiff drawings, and they're not being exaggerated enough. Which was pretty much what he said in the course, was that's what he wants. Like, it doesn't matter if the proportions are off, anything like that. He just wants more exaggeration, more fluidity, so to speak. Probably, let's say, only in the course once so far, but you know, it's just like changing each one, and then they've added in these, I can't remember what to call them now, axis lines or something. But I mean, first attempts, like, you can see that I'm slowly understanding. You know, I'm slowly starting to grasp the idea, even though I can't put it into practice, I'm slowly starting to grasp the idea of what's actually going on in the course. And you'd ask me, how well is the course going to go? You know, just before I started, pretty much would have been like, it's going to go not very well. But didn't go too bad, actually. The other thing I did, actually looked at some videos and actually sharpened the pencil, like how I've seen like the Watatilier do it, Proco, and then there's this guy on YouTube, I think he used to be called Bradwin Jones. I think he's changed his channel to maybe like Draw with Jones, but he was essentially just a video showing how he sharpened that, just using razor blades. And how you'd like, you know, you actually did something interesting as well. You actually, it's a little bit dangerous if you're a bit stupid with it, but put the tip on his thumb and then like just kind of like sharpen it. Mine's pretty blunt because it's the first time I've done it and I didn't spend too long trying to understand how to do it. But tried using the overhand grip, which I have tried before, but this time was just like the better setup. It's not quite better yet. I haven't got like a good drawing board. The advice online is actually to make one, which I'm looking into. But yeah, just the grip being more like that, and using the shoulder. And I was actually like, this feels just, I expecting to find it difficult, but actually feels a hell of a lot more comfortable than when I was doing, for example, Jura box, when it's like going down. It's not tripod grip, but it's going down. You're like kind of like holding it like that. I used to find that very clunky and unintuitive, whereas this just feels a lot better, a lot easier to draw from the shoulder as well. But yeah, those are the things that I used to do, like the ghosting method, excuse me, with Drawbox, where you'd ghost over whatever you're doing, where there's a line, and you'd just be like trying to estimate the shape you're actually going to make. With this, you got like a bit of a speed, but you can actually focus on the tip because it's the overhand grip, sorry. You can actually focus on the tip. And it's a bit like a sparkler in a way. It depends how fast you go, obviously, but the sparklers you get, you light it up and then you can you swirl it around in the air, and you can write your name with it and stuff like that. It's kind of a bit like that, where you're actually the shape is actually coming out. I know you can't see it because I'm looking at it, you know what I mean? The shape is more clear. I found that's actually a lot easier to ghost, so to speak. So yeah, those are just things that I just kind of found whilst doing it. I've still got I'm still maybe only 20% through the course, and I've only done the exercises once each. So I'm going to go through the full thing and then go back through it again. Because this month, so it started yesterday, which I can't remember what date it is, maybe the 4th of April, the 3rd of April yesterday. I started yesterday, but I'm going to do gesture for this full month. So I'm going to go through the course, the Brent Everton course on it. Then I might look at some Proco stuff, and then do the recommendation on the Radio Runner. Curriculum was, I believe, Andrew Loomis figure drawing for all it's worth. And they also set a challenge for this cafe, it's French, it's cafe, I'm going to butcher this now, cafe croquois, cafe croissant, I don't know, but I'm going to go with that. I believe I did try and find it. It says on the curriculum that they're on Vimeo, but I think they've actually made it a subscription thing now, or maybe you buy the collection of them, I'm not sure, but I'll probably do that so that I can practice the gesture stuff I've learned on different different models. So that's kind of my plan. I'm not quite sure an upload schedule yet, but I'm gonna start uploading at least once a week. I'm gonna try and do it on the same day, and the videos obviously gonna just get better as I go, and not 25 minutes of me talking about something that should take about 8 minutes to talk about. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I was anticipating this. I was nervous, I was procrastinating, go and dry the dishes, we'll make sure I've got the right drawings I want to show. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. Now I'm not ending the video because I've now got over the awkwardness of talking, so now I don't want to shut up. Which is good because go through the trial of making 100 videos, speed run 100 videos on YouTube, and then I'll get to a point where I'm more concise but more comfortable talking, and as soon as I get onto a subject that's it. So I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, see you later.